Hello and welcome, fellow film buffs. I'm Zach Droll, and I'm joined by my co-host and fellow cinephile, Hunter Vanalira.
Hey, what's going on? Sorry if you guys hear an echo on my end. I just switched rooms to a much roomier room in my house, and I'm still trying to figure out the acoustics in here, so I apologize.
We are the box office losers. Each and every week, we deep dive into the movie sphere to watch and review any and all films that ever grace the silver screen or your TV screen. This week, we are talking about Jojo Rabbit.
Hell yeah, dude. This is the first time I've seen this movie, and by golly, I think it's awesome.
I've seen this movie a lot. I think I saw it when it first dropped on VOD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it came out limited time in theaters near the end of October 2019.
Yes. So whoever got to see it in theaters got very, very lucky.
Yeah, I wanted to see it in theaters, but I didn't have the time, and I think I wasn't really seeing a lot of movies around that time anyway, so...
And then COVID struck, and you're like, shit, I can't even go to the movie theater safely.
I actually ended up watching it on HBO Max this morning, so... We're in this shit.
You could have also watched it on the Movies Anywhere account.
Yeah, but the PlayStation HBO Max app is easier to navigate than the Movies Anywhere because I got to go on my Fire Stick, and the Fire Stick's batteries are always dying, and etc.
Okay, yeah, it's good. Pretty much to give an overview of Jojo Rabbit, Jojo is a lonely German boy who discovers his single mother is hiding a Jewish girl in their attic. Aided only by his imaginary friend, Adolf Hitler, Jojo must confront his blind nationalism as World War II continues to rage on.
Hell yeah, dude. All the German accents in this were so fun. Sam Rockwell was knocking it out of the park on this one.
And even Stephen Merchant, like he fits the build as a gazpacho too well.
Oh, dude, when I saw him in this movie,
terrifying.
I was like, what the fuck is happening? When did it become a horror movie?
So scary.
Oh, dude. Sam Rockwell, by the way, too. Oof.
Oh, yeah, Sam Rockwell's so good in this movie.
He steals the goddamn show.
I think, isn't both the actually, no, like, yours is a JoJo quote for your review. Mine's a Sam Rockwell quote.
Yeah, dude.
I want to talk about Stephen Merchant for a bit, 'cause I didn't mention him in the cast list, because I just dragged and copied randomly. But yeah, he fit. I can picture him. I can picture just like his look of his face being a gazpacho.
Oh, dude, Steve Merchant is a scary motherfucker.
He is.
He looks like an alien, like Doug Jones.
Wasn't he the albino in Logan?
Yeah, he was that guy in X-Men. He was Caliban. In Days of Future, in X-Men Apocalypse, it was someone else, but then they changed it to Stephen Merchant in Logan.
God, he's a terrifying man.
Dude, he is quite frightening. He showed up, and I was like, what the fuck? Because I knew he was in the movie, and I was like, when's he going to show up? He's in literally, like, 2 scenes.
Yeah. Do you want to read off this cast list?
Yeah, so we have Roman Griffin Davis as Jojo, who's a young German boy who is a member of the Hitler Goldgender. We have Thomasin McKenzie. She is Elsa, the Jew. We have Taika Waititi. He is Adolf Hitler, but only imaginary Adolf Hitler. We have Rebel Wilson. She is Fraulein Raum, a brutish instructor. We have Sam Rockwell, Captain Klesendorf. And then we have Scarlett Johansson as Rossi. She is an anti-Nazi mother.
And now that you have offended our German listeners.
How do you think I have offended them? I do not think I did at all. Hey, it's not terrible.
You have offended them. Good job, guy. Yeah, I found out the actress who plays Elsa, Elise, right? Is it Elsa or Elisa?
It's Elsa.
She actually is like legit like 2 years younger than me. That fucked me up. I'm like, why does she look like so fucking young?
Probably because she is.
She's 20. That's not like young. That's like adult.
She just has a young face. What else has she been in? She was in The Hobbit. Oh, that's why I recognize her. She was in The Hobbit and she was in Lost Girls.
Mm.
She played Luke Evans' kid in The Hobbit.
I never saw The Hobbit.
Oh my god, you need to watch the
I
Hobbit
have never
movies.
seen
They're
any
just
Lord
okay.
of the Rings movies.
That's all of February. End of story.
Okay.
No, they're like 4 hours long. We don't need to watch those yet.
So now the budget of this film was a whopping $14 million, and in box office, it made a tremendous $90.3 million.
Yeah, this is a smash in the box office. They made this for
Well,
nothing,
like,
and it destroyed the box office for what the budget
wasn't
was.
this technically also like under a bit of an indie type thing to it as well?
Yeah, this is an indie movie. I think it was produced by but obviously besides Taika, I think it was produced by one of the smaller companies. I forget which. I don't think it's here.
I will do the first bit of notes, and there's not much notes, so this might be a relatively this might be a relatively short episode.
We shall see.
But I can finally say a fucking word that I'm happy that I legit had to look up. Okay, so that's how you say it. Okay.
Okay.
But I'm gonna read up to the principal production, and then you're gonna take the rest of it.
All right.
In March of 2018, it was revealed that Taika Waititi, who directed, wrote, co-produced, and co-starred in the film as an imaginary Adolf Hitler. Speaking of the context of the role, Waititi stated, "It's my vision of a lonely boy's best version of his hero, which is really his dad." Referring to the fact that the film's protagonist, a 10-year-old boy, is desperate to join Hitler's rank during World War II. Later that month, Scarlett Johansson joined the cast to portray the child's mother, who is secretly anti-Nazi, and in April of 2018, Sam Rockwell joined the cast as a Nazi captain who runs a Hitler youth camp. In May of 2018, Rebel Wilson then joined, and so on, and then other people joined in. Filming was set in Prague shortly thereafter. The exterior shots were placed in Zetic and Ustic.
Close enough.
I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce them.
I forget where you put the umlauts on those guys. So
is Zetic and Ustic.
Zetic and Ustic.
Later in May, newcomer Roman Griffin Davis was officially cast as the lead, the son of Johansson's character, and New Zealander Thomasin
McKenzie.
Thomasin McKenzie, thank you. Was added as Elsa Core.
Yo, she's got a New Zealand accent, bro. Top of the list.
The Jewish girl whom Johansson, Rosie hides in her home. In June of 2018, Alfie Allen was casted as Finkel II to command Captain Kesseldorf, which was pretty much. That's the Alfie is the guy from Game of Thrones and such.
Oh yeah.
And Stephen Merchant was cast as Captain Dretz, the Gestapo agent.
Nice.
Principal production started in May 28th, 2018. Reshoots were completed in February of 2019.
Yeah, man, this movie's cast is ridiculously amazing for such a small budgeted film. We got Johansson, Rockwell, Taika himself. I know he's not he was writing and directing it, so he was free. But, we had Thomasin McKenzie, who I recognize from a couple things, but she hasn't been in much, so that's great. And we had newcomer Roman Griffin Davis. Dude, he is phenomenal. He was such a good... so good. He's going places.
He's gonna have a lot of good roles ahead of him. Dude,
same with the kid who played Yorkie. I forget where. If I wrote his name down. He was great.
It sucks that he might be typecasted as
funny fat kid.
As comedic relief fat kid friend.
Yeah, but look at the kid from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Rowley. He was the typecast as chubby redhead, and now he's buff and hot. So you never know.
Well, yeah, but also he hasn't been casted in anything.
Well, that's because you could probably just not. Maybe he just gave up. Some people just don't care.
Yeah, it's well, both the person who played Greg and the guy who played Rowley both got buff.
Oh, Zachary Gordon, Zachary Gordon, but he's been in a lot of stuff. He's been in a couple teen dramas, so he's been around.
Yeah, I could definitely see definitely Roman. And the guy who played Alfie.
Yeah, I'll find his name
really fucking going far.
Yeah, I could see them as the new Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. His name is Archie Yates.
Gosh.
Archie Yates is Yorkie. I made in one of my notes, I said it's like a prequel to the Cornetto trilogy because you have a young Nick Frost and a young Simon Pegg.
Like if they definitely developed a good bond like that, I want to see that happen.
I want to see them do more buddy movies, or at least like maybe they separate but then come back when they're older in like 20 years.
Well, hell, even if Simon Pegg somehow like got it saw this movie, which he probably did. Maybe like the wheels are turning for a prequel.
Hey man, when Sean met
maybe
Ed.
The wheels are turning. Do you want to pick up?
Yeah. So, a co-production between the New Zealand and Czech Republic. The film had its world premiere at the 44th Toronto International Film Festival on September 8th, 2019.
Czech Republic.
Shut the fuck up. Where it won a top prize in the Gorshal People's Choice Award. Jojo Rabbit was released theatrically in October 18th, 2019, and in New Zealand in October 24th, 2019. It drew mostly praise, especially for the performances, direction, screenplay, heart, visual style, musical score, and production values, but some criticism came for its comedic portrayal of Nazis. Dude, are you telling me I can't make fun of Nazis? Like, what the fuck? They're basically like, oh man, I got criticism because they made Nazis a joke.
Well,
what?
Because I remember, like Germany really doesn't like that part of their history being brought up.
Nobody does.
Well, yes. Another thing, seeing when this was released, I think both this, Lighthouse, and Uncut Gems came out at a good time.
They all came out around the same time, yeah.
Just before the world snapped out of existence.
Yeah, we got Thanos snapped for a year.
To be honest.
So, Jojo Rabbit was chosen by the National Board of Review and American Film Institute as one of the 10 best films of the year in 2019. At the Golden Globes, it was nominated for Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy, Best Actor, Musical or Comedy for Davis. Thank God, he deserves it. I don't know if he won, but he deserved it. And at 92nd Academy Awards, it received 6 nominations, including Best Picture and Best Supporting Actress for Johansson. Nice. I knew she would have got at least nominated. Winning Best Adapted Screenplay. It won Best Adapted Screenplay also at the Writers Guild and the British Academy Film Awards. Waititi enlisted Oscar-winning musical composer Michael Giacchino to score the film, and it was done by the 35-piece at Abbey Road Studios. Soundtrack also contains contemporary music, notably the German version of Heroes by David Bowie, and a German version of I Want to Hold Your Hand by the Beatles as well. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the opening one.
While watching documentaries on the Hitler Youth during research, Waititi noted similarities between the crowd at Hitler's rallies and the frenzy at the concerts inspired him to do a German version of the Beatles. That's funny. And then Giacchino helped secure the rights to the song by contacting Paul McCartney, with whom he had previously worked. That's awesome. That is awesome, yeah.
That is Taika Waititi. He's definitely gonna be not like as gruesome as Tarantino, but he's gonna be the Tarantino of our generation.
Why not just say he's gonna be the Edgar Wright of our generation?
Because Edgar Wright still has a few good hits left in him. I'm talking about with Tarantino. He's apparently done after one more film. I think
he's got one more of his films, and then he has one more film he's contractually obligated to do, but I forget what it's for.
Yeah, Edgar Wright still has a lot more in him, but I'm comparing Taika Waititi's work to Tarantino because they can both really do some good stuff.
I don't know if that's a good comparison though, seeing how they do their visual their styles and how they write things, because Taika mostly writes comedies and produces comedies and stuff.
In a way, also so does Tarantino. He produces dark comedies.
I wouldn't really call most of his movies comedies. They're mostly crime comedies, if anything. But comedy is a strong word.
Well, I don't consider Pulp Fiction a crime comedy. I consider Pulp Fiction a very weird episodic tale.
Yeah, so how are you comparing Taika to Tarantino? Bad choice.
Just overall writing style and how they can.
Taika's never dropped an N-bomb.
also Taika hasn't starred in his own film and dropped an N-bomb.
That's true. So I don't know.
Like just like freely and shit. I'll start off with this plot though. Let's just. Oh god, I'm dying. I'm always dying in these episodes. In the later stages of World War II, 10-year-old Jojo
Johannes Betzler.
Johannes Betzler joins the Duchess
Jungvolk.
Other one known as just the junior section of the Hitler Youth. Jojo is an innocent boy who was heavily indoctrinated with Nazi ideals, manifested by his imaginary friend Adolf, a supportive and buffoonish version of Adolf Hitler. At the training camp run by Captain Getzelsdorf, the other children give Jojo the desired nickname Jojo Rabbit after he refuses to kill a rabbit to prove his worthiness. Pepped up by Adolf, he returns to prove his bravery, stealing it's pretty much just a fucking mortar.
Stalin hand grenade.
A mortar, and throws it without
not a mortar,
supervision.
It's a hand grenade.
Well, also mortars are also that one too.
No, they're not. Mortars are missiles. Yeah. They're little missiles.
There's when we get to when you read the second paragraph, I'll look it up as well. Thrown without supervision, the grenade explodes at his feet, leaving him scared and limping. Scarred and limping. Jojo's mother, Rosie, coerces, thank you, Gesseldorf, into ensuring that Jojo remains included and gives him responsibilities. Jojo is given small tasks such as spreading propaganda,
leaflets,
and collecting scraps for the war effort.
Metal for Hitler! Metal for Hitler!
All right, now I'm gonna look up.
Dude, the opening for this movie was really good. Like, I thought honestly we were gonna spend more time in the camp, but we only spent like a solid 20 minutes in the camp, and then the rest of the movie is him limping around and swimming and like recovering from his injuries from the grenade he blew up on himself by bouncing off a tree. But like every time we see Hitler in the he blows up scenes, he's good and even into the last drop of Hitler. Like, it's just so cool to see Taika just run around as a stupid idiot Hitler. And he's like, because it is exactly what you would imagine an imaginary Adolf Hitler would be to a 10-year-old kid. His father figure is off at war being an anti-Nazi, which we find out later on in the film. And, maybe. And
yeah,
then we see just like Hitler's like, giving him support, telling him how to be a good Nazi, helping him out, offering him cigarettes.
All right, I retract my statement.
It's just a hand grenade.
I could have swore like growing up I heard that it called a mortar as well.
Nah, it is not. All right, so alone at home one day, Jojo discovers Elsa Kor, a teenage Jewish girl and his late sister's former classmate, hiding upstairs. Jojo is both terrified and aggressive towards Elsa, who easily subdues his behavior. The two are left in a stalemate as the revelations that Rosie hiding Elsa will lead to Rosie's execution! And neither Jojo nor Elsa is willing to tell Rosie that they know the fear of what will happen next.
I hate you.
Jojo continues to speak to Elsa,
so much.
Doing his
Legit,
best to uncover Jew secrets. Do not interrupt me, Zachary. So he can write a book about Jews for Klesendorf. Elsa is both saddened and amused by the doctrine that Jojo believes.
Can you stop
when she tells
doing
Jojo about her
the
fiancé
German accent?
Jojo forges a letter from Nathan claiming to have found someone else. When he sees her hurt by this, he quickly puts together a retraction. What is it, Zachary?
Stop doing the German accent.
Do not tell me what to do.
Offensive.
I will do whatever I want.
It's offensive.
It's only offensive if
we have German listeners. You know this.
And they will appreciate what I am doing.
No, they won't.
We are doing an episode on Jojo Rabbit.
We are losing them.
We are gaining them. Trust me.
No, we are not.
We will never lose the followers that love us so dearly.
We are losing our German listeners because you're putting on a very offensive accent.
It is not offensive. It is
very offensive. I swear to God.
If you do not continue, I will continue. I was yelling so loud that my microphone automatically turned the audio down.
Can you stop doing the accent?
No promises. Read your fucking paragraph, Zachary.
I hate you. Jojo begins acting out with his mother, angry at her seeing lack of patriotism. Rosie opposes the war and the Nazi doctrine, openly mourns the public hanging of those who resist the Nazis, and she imposes her beliefs that positivity and optimism are the best way to fight oppression.
Facts.
Rosie also tells Elsa that Jojo is still innocent and laments the doctrine that he believes, which makes it impossible for her to reveal Elsa to him. Meanwhile, Jojo, who is warming up to Elsa, argues with an incredibly hostile Adolf Hitler about his patriotism. Jojo spots his mother leaving a Free Germany message in town.
Do you want me to continue?
You son of a bitch.
Jojo and Elsa are alone in the house when the Gestapo stops by searching the house. When Glesendorf in tow, he comes in with his little friend. After the volley of Heil Hitlers, they ransack the place, finally going upstairs where Elsa poses as Jojo's late sister, Ingi, I think I pronounced that name right, and produces the papers. Glesendorf inspects them and quizzes Elsa on her birthday, confirming its authenticity. After the Gestapo leave, a shaken Elsa reveals that she got the date wrong, that Glesendorf had covered for her. By the way, Sam Rockwell coming in fucking clutch with that. I was like, oh damn, he's a good guy, let's go. Elsa is convinced that the Gestapo are aware of her deception. Later, Jojo finds Rosie hanging in the public square. He returns home and tries to stab Elsa, but breaks down in tears. Dude, this was ridiculous. Now, I don't know why she was hung. Because from what it looked like, her and Sam Rockwell had a decent relationship. And then she was seen obviously dropping the notes of propaganda. And then when she was hanging, she had the thing stapled to her leg. So in my brain, it was, she got hung because she was spreading propaganda. But then we see later on in the movie, Sam Rockwell has his crazy-ass super Nazi uniform on. And it makes me think, did he let the Jew and Jojo off the hook just to tell on the mom? But then, did he really tell on the mom, though? Because then the Jew would have got taken? Why did he get his battle armor? Like, I don't know. I was confused.
I think he didn't, because I think he let them go because they're kids.
Well, also because he's gay.
That too.
He was. I mean, that's just me reading into it. Him and Alfie's character, Freddie Finkel, they seemed like they were a gay couple, and they couldn't really do anything about it because Hitler also hated gay people.
I think it was mainly. I think. Not reading too much into it, I think it's because they're kids.
Well, also that, and we see that at the end as well.
And because he has, like, for all we know, maybe, like, the hanging of Rosie was not his say.
Mm.
He had no knowledge of that up until, like, later on he finds out.
Yeah. Or it could have been that Glenzendorf was secretly his father, because we never see the dad. And the mom has a close relationship with him, at least to where they're friends, it seems. And, Jojo doesn't seem like he ever really knew his dad. You know what I mean? So maybe that was his father, and he was trying to make up for being a dickhead? It's hard to tell. So.
Also, and for context, guys, this is the shit I go through. He puts on this fucking accent. This is the shit I go through. Editing's gonna be fun.
I think it's gonna be great.
Even though it's easy drag and drop shit, but your German accent causes me great pain.
It's because it's good, I know.
No, it's not. It's terrible. It's offensive.
It's just stereotypical. That's what it is.
It's more offensive than like than anything ever.
I don't believe that. You dropped an
It's
F-bomb
more offensive
a couple
than
episodes
some of the shit
ago.
Disney put out back in the day.
Nothing is more offensive than Song of the South. You can go home. All right, do you want to continue on with the...
Yes.
Yeah.
With the Allies closing in, the civilized population, including the Hitler Youth, are armed to defend the city. Jojo runs into his friend Yorkie, who tells him Hitler has committed suicide.
Despondent. There you go.
Jojo hides until the battle is won, with the Allies occupying the city. As he wanders the city, he is seized by Allied soldiers along with a wounded Kesseldorf. After a brief confrontation, Kesseldorf tells Jojo to look after his sister, then tears off Jojo's Hitler Youth coat and denounces him as a Jew to ensure that the soldiers do not execute him. The soldiers drag Jojo away as Kesseldorf is executed by a firing squad.
Dude. Sam Rockwell coming in fucking clutch. I thought for a hot sec Jojo was going to die. I was like, holy shit, they're going to kill him.
Now, I think these being Allied soldiers, I think these were the Russian Allied soldiers, because I don't think American soldiers would have point-blank shot a fucking child.
You're probably right. They weren't wearing the green. I think they were wearing the gray. I don't think during that time, like, legit, an American soldier would point-blank shoot a kid. I mean, you don't know that, but probably not.
I'm just going off by like a heart of hearts type thing. All right, man.
All right, time to close it out. So
I swear to fucking God,
I'm not gonna do it, but if you want me to, I will. Jojo runs home and to stop Elsa from leaving, tells her Germany had won the war. Recognizing her despair, he recites a new letter from Nathan claiming that he and Jojo have figured out a way to smuggle her to Paris. Elsa confesses that Nathan died of tuberculosis the previous year. Jojo tells her he loves her, and she tells him he loves him, but only his younger brother. A disheveled Adolf angrily confronts Jojo for siding with Elsa, and Jojo kicks him out the window. Outside, Elsa sees American soldiers and realizes the Allies have won the war. She slaps Jojo in the face for lying, and they dance in the street. This is actually like a cool scene, like... right at the end, he's like, all right, you ready to go? Like, they have nothing in their hands, and he takes her outside, and then the car drives by, and I was like, oh, man, he helped her escape. You see? You get it? I was like, oh, my God, this movie's so good, dude. This movie's fucking awesome.
Now, so I'm not going to have any mid-movie notes, guys.
But I have a lot.
Yeah, I've seen this movie far too many times. I have seen this movie, like, outside of seeing it last night in preparation for the podcast, I saw it maybe like a few months ago.
Yeah, dude, this is, I got a lot of notes on this one because it's my first time seeing it. Yo, man, you like my first note? Hey, Zachary. Hey, Hitler. Give it back. Give it back to me, Zachary.
Hell Hitler.
Yeah, boy. Hey, man, dude, every time they said that in the movie,
so much.
Dude, there was the scene where they're all shooting Hail Hitlers back to each other, and it's just amazing that it's like, you know, first they do it for Jojo, and then Sam Rockwell comes in, they do it for him, then Freddie Finkel comes in, they do it for him, and then when Elsa comes down, they do it for her. Dude, there's like fucking 50 Hail Hitlers in one scene. It is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Because all 5 of the Gestapo agents all do it too. Oh, man. It's so funny, dude. And then the scene at the beginning where Hitler's yelling at Jojo to give him like a good Hail Hitler. He's like, come on. He's like, don't put any pressure on it. Don't do any stank. Just, you know, give it to me. Give it to me straight. It's just so stupid. And that's when Jojo is shipped off to the Hitler Youth camps where we meet Sam Rockwell's character, Captain Klenzendorf. Damn, dude, Sam Rockwell is a treasure. Like, he is so good in this movie. He's doing, like, the gun scene where he's like, pew, 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 and he's just doing dumb poses with the gun and shooting stuff. I thought for sure he was going to hit a kid.
No, so in the scene where they're like, don't stab anyone, and you see, like, Jojo just playing with the knife, and there was a kid in front of him.
Yeah, he's whittling the stick,
like,
and he
imagine
accidentally
just
hits it.
stab the kid in front of him.
Yeah, he's whittling. Oh, you mean when he's playing with it at the beginning? I thought you meant when he was whittling in the woods.
Yeah, no, I know, no, because when they all took it out, they're all just like looking at it, and you see him, he's just like stabbing it
playing
forward.
with it, yeah.
and there's a kid in front of him. Imagine you just stab the kid in front of him.
He stabs him in the back. Ow!
After they said, don't stab don't stab your friends.
My next note is 18 Kids for Germany. This is when Rebel Wilson's character is introduced, and they're talking about how they're gonna prep the female Hitler youths to be ready to bear more children for Adolf, and
they pretty much do basic gender norms all the time.
Yeah, and Rebel Wilson's like, I had 18 kids for Germany, and I was like, 18? Holy shit!
Yeah,
popping one out every 9 months, dude. What the fuck? I just instead of Boy Scouts of America, I wrote down Hitler Scouts of Germany.
God, fuck.
We get to the scene with Rebel Wilson drawing Der Jude, and I was like, Der Jude should be in a museum. It's just such a good little chalk
that's just
piece.
like I think like Der Jude just translate to the Jew.
I'm well aware, Zachary.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because I wasn't 100% positive that you knew what that meant.
Zachary, I'm aware of what context clues are.
Okay.
Anyway, this is when Yorkie is like not first introduced, but Yorkie gets like a little bit more dialogue, and they're talking about. He's like, I thought I was your best friend. He's like, well, unless you're Hitler hiding in a fat kid's body, then you're number 2. And he's like, I'm just a fat kid hiding in a fat kid's body. It was just so good. And then I said Yorkie looks like a small Nick Frost.
So, okay. When I saw you type this out, I saw Yorkie looks like... I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no.
No, he thought it was like Yorkie looks like Zach. Nah, dude, I didn't see anybody that looked like you. I always look out, though.
So I saw... a lot of times I tune into when you're typing your notes so I could see it in real time.
Yeah, I see my reactions.
And I saw that type. I was like, you motherfucker. I swear to God.
Nah, not this time. Maybe next time.
What's that supposed to mean?
Maybe next time we see Yorkie, what's his face? Archie Yates in a movie. I'll be like, oh, it's Zach.
And then I'll scream.
Yeah, Taika is a legend. I always love him in his movies. He's just so good, man. What We Do in the Shadows, Thor Ragnarok. I liked The Hunt for the Wilder People, even though he's not in that. I don't think so. I haven't seen it in a long time. And then, obviously, this one. He is just phenomenal. Absolutely nailing it as imaginary Adolf Hitler.
Isn't he also doing, like, a Star Wars?
Yeah, he is working on a Star Wars movie, and he was in Mandalorian as IG-11. So,
okay.
He directed that episode, too. This feels like a prequel to the Cornetto trilogy. The Edgar Wright movies. Because if you think about it, like I said, small Nick Frost is Yorkie, and then you got small Jojo Rabbit, who is Simon Pegg. Not exactly, but you know what I mean. Like, they have a good dynamic as kid actors to where I could see them doing a Shaun of the Dead style movie, but they're children. I think Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg should really hop on this and do a movie where it's like another Nick Frost and Simon Pegg thing, but then they have a couple scenes when they're kids and it's these two. I think it would be really good.
Oh yeah, it would flow so well. I think a lot of them are. I think the two of them are German-based actors, so they would have to learn a British accent.
I don't think they're German-based actors, my dude.
I think they are.
One of them is named Dave. The one's last name is Davis, and one is Yates. I don't think they're German.
You'd be surprised.
No, you look it up while I continue on my notes.
Okay.
I said I love how Sam Rockwell is just getting pissed drunk and using weapons with children. This is when he's drinking and throwing the grenades.
Yes.
Next up is he blew himself up, Lamau. That's when Jojo runs in with Hitler after hyping himself up and throwing the grenade, it bouncing off a tree, and then he blows up. And then he's rushed to the hospital.
Update. Okay. So Roman Griffin Davis, he was born in the UK.
Which makes sense.
Archie Yates, nothing on him at all.
I think this was his debut.
he's slated like for why? Okay, hold on. Let me actually just go to his Wikipedia page real quick.
I would say his IMDb.
Yeah, IMDb. I mean, yes. Switch there. He's gonna be in a Home Alone movie.
Oh yeah, they're doing a Home Alone movie on Disney Plus.
I'm not sure where he's from. It doesn't state exactly.
He seems like he's British too.
I think so. I would have to go to his IMDb. I doesn't know his Wikipedia page, but continue on.
Mm-hmm.
I'll continue looking. Oh wait, yep, and he was also born in the UK.
That's what I thought. Dude, do you like my next note? Jojo's mom has got it going on.
Yeah, I why'd you repeat the chorus twice? It only goes on for once, and then...
Dude, I don't know. I remember it poorly. And then, Adolf, can't you see? You're not the one for me.
I hate you.
Dude, Scarlett Johansson, she's fantastic and she's gorgeous. So I had to pull it out and see if it was funny. And it kind of was. When I was writing it, at least. The next one is someone has to walk the clones. We get to the so Jojo's back on his road to recovery, and he's working with Klenzendorf at like the little Nazi like recruitment area or paperwork thing. And Rebel Wilson says that someone has to walk the clones, and it's just like 11 of these kids that all look the same. I'm like, what the fuck?
I think it's her kids then at that point.
Oh, maybe it was her kids. I didn't even think about that. I just thought it was clones because I know back in there's a lot of like, you know, World War II like theories and stuff, and Hitler was like into a lot of supernatural stuff, including cloning. So I thought it was like a reference to Hitler doing clone stuff.
It could be that too. Like I don't look into it that much. I just thought of it as maybe it's some of her kids. Like for all we know, she could have had 18 kids with the same person.
All at the same time because they are all like 18 tuplets or whatever.
Yeah, man.
Dude. This is the scene where they give Yorkie a gun. Oh no, they give someone a gun, and I went, now I have a gun. Hail, hail, hail.
Guys.
Lola!
Even Lola hated that joke.
No. Now I have a gun. Hail, hail, hail.
See, even she hated that joke.
She loved that joke.
No, she fucking howled at you. Like, no.
Dude, do you want to get...
Dumbass.
You ready for my next joke?
I see it now.
It's Anne Frank. Oh.
We are never going to get sponsored.
Nah, dude, they love us.
No, they don't.
All right, and this is when we first meet Elsa, and she's hiding in the little crawl space in the sister's room.
See, to touch on the notes, I thought she was just like telling. I thought she was lying when she said she knew Jojo's sister. I thought that was a lie.
Yeah, so
at first.
I didn't know she was the classmate until the mom talks about it later on.
Mm.
Yeah, does it ever reveal how the sister dies?
I'm gonna just play devil's advocate and also assume tuberculosis.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was rampant around that time, so.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play like the fifth. I will play the latter half and just say that one.
Next up on my notes, Jews are worse than ghosts? ? Next note is, yo, he's 10. Lay off, psycho.
Oh yeah, that's when he fell down the stairs.
Yeah. Dude, like, I understand, like, she's fighting for her life, but this dude is fucking 10. You don't gotta, like, threaten to kill this 10-year-old kid whose mom is harboring you in her house at a threat of death. Like, you could have been aggressive, but you didn't have to go this crazy. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this bitch sucks. Next up is Jew mind control. That's just funny. Throughout the whole movie, they're talking about how Jews, like, could control people's minds and stuff. A lot of this stuff is what Hitler believed, dude.
Oh yeah, it is, and it's really crazy,
dude. I love the World War II Nazi facts because like Hitler legitimately tried supernatural warfare to win the war. He tried vampires, werewolves, ghosts, the whole Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark. That was a legitimate story that was like based off Nazi bullshit. Like,
well, yeah,
that's
because,
insane.
Well, remember, a lot of stuff. It was just it was very poor racism back then.
Mm-hmm.
They just they hated anyone who was able to tell a story that someone believed.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, it was just cool to see them hit up on this the Jews are controlled by the devil. They're creatures that climb down chimneys and shit. I'm like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
I said I love how imaginary Hitler keeps offering him cigarettes like he's gonna take them, and then literally right after I wrote that scene, Jojo goes, "Stop offering me cigarettes! I'm 10."
What's also to touch back on I think the first half of the notes. So apparently at this point, the only father figure that Jojo has is the imaginary Hitler.
Yeah.
Which is it's sad.
Well, because his dad's off fighting the war, or being part of the resistance, or dead.
Or is
or
Captain
Klenzendorf, who is
gay,
so he left the mom. I don't know. It's really up to interpret. I mean, I know it's based off a book, and the book probably has more answers. Yes, but probably. I haven't read the book. Maybe if I find it in Barnes and Nobles, I'll buy it and give it a little skim through. Read the book.
There's an audiobook version. I'll listen to it.
Ooh, nice. They definitely have an audiobook version of that. Probably read by Taika.
Because I don't like reading that much. I like listening to my audiobooks.
Yeah, I like reading comics, but I haven't really read a book in a long-ass time. Mostly because high school ruined reading for me. Because they're like, you have to read these books. And most of them were terrible. Don't get me wrong. I like my Shakespeare and I like my Edgar Allan Poe. But when you force me to read a book I do not give a shit about and then make me, I have to read this or I fail, fuck you. Go fuck yourself.
Well, it's the first audiobook I ever listened to was Ready Player One.
Nice. That's a solid one to listen to.
The book is okay. The second one I'm not gonna touch. I got it for free off of Audible, by the way.
I hear the second book is good, and they're already making a movie based off of it too.
I hear the second one is god awful. It has a lot of bad things in it.
You should check it out.
I got it for free because I signed up for Audible from Premium, then immediately deleted it, and they gave me credit.
Nice.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna put that towards a book. Okay, cool. I got it for free.
Nice. I would definitely check it out, especially since you got it for free, and they're making a movie off it, and it's one of your favorite movies. So.
Oh yeah, it's because I'm within the minority. I enjoy that movie a lot.
Oh, we should cover that one in the next month or two.
Well, I'll probably have that one to finish off January.
Oh yeah, we still got another week or so in January. All right, continuing on with my notes, I go, now she's got 2 knives. This is when all this Hitler stuff is so good. I wrote, Hitler is so funny, bomb-proof legs, and then they're talking about how JoJo's scars make him ugly. I wrote, I think JoJo's scars are cool.
Oh yeah, they are. It looks like a puzzle piece and everything on him.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It looks like a cool battle scar. I mean, not that scars are go get scars, don't get scars.
It's a cool battle scar, even though he blew himself up.
Yeah. I said, I hate this Jewish character. She sucks. Just want to see Adolf.
I get that.
Don't worry. I make a turnaround. Don't worry.
Oh yeah. Going into it, you just want to see Adolf.
Yeah, because
that's pretty much
Taika's
how
hilarious.
Jojo
advertised. And him have a great relationship because of the imaginary friend, and then you meet Elsa, and she's just an asshole from the beginning. And like I said before, she's fighting for her life, and she's trying to, protect herself. And I get it, but this dude's 10. You don't got to be an asshole to him. He's a naive 10-year-old, and just roll with the punches, man.
Well, maybe maybe his sister's kind of wish to her was if you ever come encounter with him, just treat him like a younger brother.
That's kind of what Scarlett Johansson
because if you look at it, that's pretty much how she treats him from the jump.
Yeah, well, yes.
Is an older sister, younger brother dynamic. Me and my sister, we did the same shit when we were younger. We just
each other with knives.
No, we just beat the hell out of each other sometimes because we were just hey, yo, she was yo, dummy. I'm like, what? And then I would get like slapped or punched, but like, hey, I was a young boy.
A young baby boy, you probably deserved it.
Not wrong.
Fucking elf-looking ass.
I hate you.
Ralphie-looking ass. All right, so more notes. I like how ScarJo is anti-Nazi doing secret resistance shit. I gotta love that. I wonder if he became if so Nazi headstrong when his sister died. Because again, they really don't talk about the sister that much. But like, Scarlett Johansson said, Rosie, the mom, said that like he wasn't always like this. You know, like he was like a really sweet and good boy, and then all of a sudden he like, you know, started going off for all this Nazi headstrong shit. Do you think that like when his sister died, the Nazi propaganda blamed a lot of deaths on Jews, and then he just went, fuck the Jews, they killed my sister and took my dad away?
I can think that, or it mainly happened when he heard his dad went off to war.
Yeah, and he was like,
he probably didn't know what side he was fighting on.
Yeah.
Because like he did not, because in the area that they were living in, it was a heavily like a Nazi Germany area. Brief moment, because dog bark. But no, so I can see it. I can see where you're coming from on like maybe like they blame like illnesses on the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
But I think mainly he probably went headstrong when his dad went off to war, and maybe his mom just said, "Yeah, he's fighting for our side."
Yeah, because that's what he's.
And
say.
Him being a young kid didn't know what that meant.
Mm-hmm, exactly. All right, next up, ScarJo's performance is so good. Give her an award. This is when she's doing the whole like, "Oh, you want to see your father? Fine," and then she just goes, she gets all mad.
So good.
And
I
then,
love that scene.
I think that's what got her nominated, honestly. Like, she was great in this film, but that scene was just like, damn, dude. Look at her go. Sometimes you forget she's not just Black Widow, she's actually an actress.
Yeah.
Like, she's been in really bad movies, but she's also been in really good ones. And I would count this as a good one for her. I can't wait 100%. To see Black Widow. The runtime on Black Widow got announced this morning. It's going to be 2 hours and 13 minutes. So,
fun. That means the goddamn podcast episode's going to be an hour and 15.
Probably.
Because of all the COVID stuff around it.
Yeah, this will be fun. So, Lola, no. So, next up, he feels bad. This is when he writes the note for the first time, and then she gets all pissed because he doesn't know that Nathan died of tuberculosis. So he's like writing these notes as him, and then she's just like, shit. Like, you know, he's writing this note, and now it's like, oh man, yeah, he cares a little bit. And then we see in the Der Jude book, or no, not Der Jude, the Yoo-Hoo Jude, with like ways to kill Nathan.
Yeah.
I said, he's treating her like his big sister, big sad dude. Next note. Okay, maybe he loves her. Confused for now.
Yeah, he does have a crush on her. That is kind of obvious.
We'll get down there later. Rockwell and Alfie are gay and can't do nothing about it because Hitler hated gays too. This got layers.
I think maybe just Alfie was gay for
Klenzendorf. But dude, look at Klenzendorf's outfit that he made. That's very flamboyant and very just like, I'm me being me, baby.
But like maybe like I said, maybe it was just like Finkel's just idea and it helped. But I think probably it's just Finkel being more gay towards Klenzendorf.
Nah, I like to think it's both.
Okay.
That's just me though.
No, but now I try. Like, doesn't also like kind of Rebel Wilson's characters kind of look at them very weird a lot too?
Yeah, because Rebel Wilson sees them interacting with each other, and it's just like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Next up, they gave Yorkie a big old gun. This is when he rolls up with his paper mache suit and his giant gun the size of his body.
Well, at that point, they gave Yorkie a mortar because remember, it shoots off into the fucking store.
Oh yeah, no, they give him the. Well, no, that's actually beforehand. Way after, I mean. That's near the end of the movie. This is the scene where Yorkie first becomes a soldier.
I was like, oh yeah, they gave me this gun?
and they gave me this new Nazi uniform. It's not paper, but it's paper-like. And I was like, that's ridiculous.
That's right, yeah, then you see him in war, his back is just torn up.
Yeah. And then he comes back later on, he's like, it just seems like I can't die. And I'm like, that's fucking funny. Next note.
Go home and hug my mom.
There's a scene, I need cuddles. There's a scene with, Elsa's talking about, oh my god, Jojo's scars and like taking pictures, and he goes, no one wants to see pictures of cripples.
Damn.
Such a good line, dude. This dialogue, my next note, this dialogue is amazing, and I want more of this kind of stuff in my movies. And I know it's a very Taika-esque writing style to make it just like pun after pun and just make things work visually, but like, damn, dude, this is quick wit, and this is just phenomenal. We gotta watch What We Do in the Shadows. That movie is so good.
Oh, that's right, yeah, I know of that one. I think
That's the vampire mockumentary.
Yes, I know what you're talking about, because I think my group of friends, after the ball dropped last year, kind of going into 2020, we watched that. I think we fell asleep during it because it was like really late at night.
Oh no, it's a super good movie though, and they actually made a TV show based off the movie, and Taika makes an appearance in it.
I know. I've been meaning to watch it.
Dude, the show is so good. You need to check it out. It is so good. It's exactly like the movie too. Like they don't even like try to make it like it's different. It's like the exact same thing, and it's so good. Next up, it's definitely love, incest. You win today. I know they're not actually related, but you know it's funny. Finally, Merchant makes his appearance. Why is he so tall?
Well, like Stephen Merchant is a very scary man.
Well, he is tall, but like he's tall normally. Like I think he's like over 6 feet tall. But there's the scene where he's standing over Sam Rockwell, and they make him intentionally like 1,000,000 times taller than Sam Rockwell. I don't think Sam Rockwell is a tall guy. I think he's like 5'9", but like. Do you
think that scene was forced perspective?
I think it was forced perspective on like showing how tall the Gestapo like and menacing they are compared to, you know, this little half-blind Nazi captain who keeps getting demoted because he keeps getting kids in trouble and blown up.
Well, it's like, I think even if you go back and look at old like photos of the Gazpacho, like they are
not the
like,
Gazpacho.
Legit...
Gazpacho is soup. Gestapo.
I don't care. Gestapo, Gazpacho, who cares?
The Gazpacho agents, they hunt soup.
But no, like if you go back and look at just old photos of them, they are menacing fucking people.
Well, because they're essentially like the Men in Black. Like it's that whole mythos where it's like these dudes show up, tear apart your house, and kill people if you have a Jew in there. Like they go crazy, and sometimes they just kill you if they think there's a Jew in your house and they can't prove it. Sometimes they just go, "Hey, fuck you." Look at Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Merchant is scary as hell, dude. Next up, Rockwell is helping. Awesome. He knows the mom very well, so he could be a secret resistance member training the kids poorly on purpose?
No.
I just think he's incompetent. Like, oh, well, you find out later that he's not part of the resistance, and then he gets killed. But like him just helping out Jojo is just so nice. Like he knows, like the birth date's wrong, but he doesn't want to tell the Gestapo. And I was just like, oh man, this dude, here he is. Later on, I said, I don't hate Elsa anymore, by the way. I'm Team Elsa.
God damn it.
This is when she, gets her little I stopped being an angry person arc, and now I'm, like, trying to, like, keep track of this kid and, like, make sure he's okay. And then fucking bomb dropped on me. Holy fucking shoes, my dude. They killed Mama.
When I first saw this thing, I cried.
Dude, I was on the verge. I was like, oh my fucking God. I was like, I didn't think they were going to do it. Oh,
I legit, I was like, oh no. Mm-hmm. Oh no.
And then he goes home and he stabs Elsa, and then he just breaks down. I was like, oh my God.
And also, and Elsa just knows that, like,
Elsa
I think
knew what was up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she put together what happened, mm-hmm. and she was like, ow, but I guess this is kind of deserved.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes and no. they knew what they were doing and they knew the consequences, but it still hurts, especially when this kid is like, fucking 10. His dad's not around, his sister's dead, and now his mom got hung in the streets and he had to find that on his goddamn fucking paper route.
And it's pretty much at this point, like, everyone he knows is either gone or dead.
And he thinks Yorkie's dead too. He finds out later that he's not, but he thinks Yorkie's dead.
Yeah.
So everyone is just gone except for him, and it all happened when this Jew came into his life, you know what I mean? Like the evil Jews. It's ridiculous. Like, just how fucked up this kid's life gets in a matter of, like, a week.
Yeah.
We're rounding out my notes with Rebel Wilson is great here, very underrated. This is where she's putting the bombs. Go give an American a big hug, you got this.
She puts the bomb to his back.
Yeah, and fucking pulls the thing and lets him run away. And then she gives Yorkie a pistol. Shoot anyone that's not wearing this jacket. Go, have fun. And then she takes...
No. It was shoot anyone that doesn't look like us.
That's what it is.
Well, Americans kind of look like us, lady.
I think that was the
do I just shoot the animals?
Yeah, so then Yorkie runs out, and then we see Rebel Wilson take a big gun and then get blown up. And then right before we get to these last two notes I have, there's a scene where Yorkie and Jojo are collecting a bunch of ammo and stuff and carrying the mortar strike around. And they're Yorkie's talking about how he's like, oh man, he's like, how's your Jew girlfriend? He doesn't even care. He's like, oh, that's sweet. That's awesome. And he's like, oh man, he's like, I don't even understand why, he's like, I saw a bunch of Jews hiding in the woods and I didn't see what the whole problem was. They look just like us. Now the people who don't look like us, the only people on our team, the Japanese, those guys are crazy. And I'm just like, he's fucking spitting facts, dude. He's like, everyone's the same. He's like, everyone looks the same except for the Japanese, the Asian people. And that's not, anything bad. But it's just it was the whole thing where Hitler's so mad at people that don't look like us in quotes. But then he teams up with the Japanese. But
yet their allies are the most opposite looking people.
Exactly. It was just ridiculous.
Well,
black hair, black eyes, not blonde hair, blue eyes. Just the exact opposite. It was so good. All right, last two notes. Sam Rockwell making a grown-ass man cry when he's, saving Jojo and Jew, fuck you, get out of here. Spits on him. I'm like, oh no. And then he gets, shot from the firing squad. And I was like, the last person fucking, Jojo knows is now dead besides Elsa. This is fucked. And then
he meets Yorkie. I can't die.
Yeah, and then climax of the film. Wow, this movie was awesome.
Oh, 100%. I like this movie. It's definitely it's not a perfect 10.
No, but it's very close.
Oh, it's close to it. I review says otherwise. I don't know who's gonna read the good one, who's gonna read the bad one. Since we both gave it the same.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. So I'll read the little section. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds an approval rating of 79% based off 414 reviews with an average rating of 7.56. The website's critical consensus reads, Jojo Rabbit's blend of irreverent humor and serious ideas definitely won't be everyone's taste, but either way, the anti-hate satire is audacious to a fault. Metacritic gave it about a 58 out of 100, which is crazy, with mixed to average reviews. CinemaScore gave it an A on an A+ to F scale, and PostTrack gave it a 96%, with 87 saying they would definitely recommend it. Zach, you can read the good review, just because you've seen this movie a bunch of times.
This is a fresh rating from Ben Travis of Empire Magazine. Taika Waititi, most daring film, isn't his most successful, but among the tonal clashes, the tonal clashes, there's real hope, humanity, and no bones about it. Nazi bashing at a time when that's desperately necessary.
And the rotten review from Mark Kermode of Observer UK. I suspect a strangely good-natured feel to the film will win the hearts of many viewers, but my own head remained too muddled by its uneven and oddly indecisive approach to embrace whatever quirky virtues it may possess. I can see what he means by that. It's very just it's weird and fun, and if you're not really paying too much attention to it, the plot is kind of not there. You know what I mean? If you really think about it, the plot is kid in World War II realizes Nazis bad. That's the movie. Yeah. But there's a lot of heart to it as well, which I don't think this guy really. It does say it would win the hearts of many viewers, but how could you not love this movie, dude?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like this movie, I don't like what I think he said. Pretty much there's no heart in this movie, and there is heart. It's essentially a coming of age movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's a coming of patriotism.
Yes.
Or anti-patriotism, essentially.
Now, Hunter, what'd you give this film?
I gave this 9 Hitlers hiding in fat little boy bodies out of 10. Zach, what'd you give it?
I gave this I'm here training little titty grabbers out of 10.
You gave it 9 as well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Before we do our sign off, so I want to touch on something from our previous review when we did Whiplash.
Oh, jeez.
So you complained about the sound mixing. I went back. I listened to it on multiple different things. I listened to some scenes on multiple different platforms. Mm-hmm. So I listened to it on my TV with my soundbar. Then I listened to it back on my computer with my headphones, and on my second monitor, just the normal thing. Mm-hmm. I think it might have been your TV that kind of had the weird sound mixing to it.
It's entirely possible, but it did ruin my experience. I'm not changing my mind.
Well, no, I'm saying because you're like, oh, how to get nominated for this for sound mixing when it was so bad. Well, maybe
like I said, there were scenes where it could have been the jazz drums were so fucking loud it was ridiculous. So I'd have to turn the volume down, and then there were scenes where they were talking and it was just like whispers.
It could have been how your TV's sound is.
It's possible, but
yes,
I say the
well, yeah, guys.
Let's sign out.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening. You can follow us on Instagram at Box Office Losers and on Twitter at Box Office Loser. For up-to-date news, I'm going to try to start using the Twitter a bit more just to promote some stuff, and maybe, or I'll just use my personal Twitter to be
just use it to
honest.
post the episodes and then retweet it. That's all you need to do.
Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, on Apple, Google Play, wherever you're listening to this. Leave a review on whatever platform you're listening to this on. Share with your friends. It really does help a lot. We're coming up on our 27th episode next week.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's hey, to be honest, it's almost been a year of doing this.
Almost.
It's getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. We cheated with a couple episodes where we did 2 ups, but when we hit about 54, we'll be at our year.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Hunter, where can they find you?
You can find me at Scruffy Mooseman on 90% of social media platforms, and you can find me at Pound That Button every other Tuesday. It's a gaming podcast I do with my high school buddies. You can find me every Wednesday at Andrew's Amazing Podcast. That is a comic book podcast I do for the store that I work at. And you can follow me at Farthest Galaxy, a Star Wars podcast, every Thursday. Dude, I do too many podcasts. This is my Friday podcast. I just need a Monday podcast, and I got the whole week, dude.
Oh, we'll just start up another one.
No, thank you.
You can follow me at Dark Shadows Ache literally everywhere. I am a contributor on the Sports Hit List for the wrestling division. Tomorrow, well, I should say, Thursday. I keep on forgetting the day placement. On Thursday, new episodes of the AEW Injection, hosted by yours truly, and by Nick Martorano, otherwise known as Mr. No Days Off, where we just talk about the latest episodes of AEW along with some news.
Nice.
But that is it, guys. We do thank you all for watching and listening. Other than that, guys, we'll see you all next week.
Bye-bye.
Jojo? You okay? Thank God. I thought you were dead. No, it seems like I can never die.